Hello there, beautiful people. Welcome back to yet another tutorial. My name is Joan. Karibu sana, and I'm going to take you through this tutorial here. It's that of a sweater. It's for a 6 months old baby, but as usual, I'll tell you that this depends on the size of your baby. So today I'll be taking you through it, and I hope that you'll enjoy it. I made this sweater working from the neck going downwards, and then I later on worked the sleeves and finished by adding the ribbings to the waistline and the neck region, and of course my sleeves here. It's a very simple tutorial, guys. I really hope that you'll enjoy it. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, and kindly consider subscribing to my channel. So guys, for this project I'll be using this tape measure here, a tapestry needle, a pair of scissors, a 3.5mm hook, and I'll be using this robin. Okay, I've torn the labeling, but it's a robin chunky yarn. It's the thick type. So to start off this project, I'm going to chain 60. Once I have my 60 chains, I'm going to just ensure this work is in a straight line, like not entangled, and then I'll join my work to the very first chain. I'll then work a slip stitch to join that work together, and then chain one and come back to this same point and work a single crochet like that. So that's my first single crochet, and then I'm now going to work single crochets until I get to the end of into every chain until I get to the end of this first row. I have worked up to the very last stitch, and I'm going to join my work using a slip stitch. So I'm going to insert my hook into the very first stitch here, and then pull a slip stitch through those stitches. So I'm going to chain 2, and then into this first into this stitch that we worked a slip stitch into, I'm going to work a double crochet there. Remember, this chain 2 doesn't count as a stitch. So into the next 8 stitches, I'm going to work double crochets. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. When you include this first one, you should have 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now into this same stitch, I'm going to chain 1 and work another double crochet into that same space. I'm now going to work into the next 12 stitches. I'm going to work double crochets. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So when you count all from this point, you should have 13 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. I'm then going to chain 1, work another double crochet into this same space. Now into the next 18 into the next 18 stitches, I'm going to work another set of double crochets. That is the back part of my, or the front, either way, of my sweater. So I'm going to work 19 I'm going to work double crochets into the next 18 stitches. When you include the first one, that should give you 19 double crochets. I'm then going to chain one again, work another double crochet into this same space. So I'm working the next sleeve, so I'm going to work into the next 12 stitches. I'm going to work another set of double crochets. I'll chain one and work another double crochet into that same stitch. So I'm going to work into the remaining 10 double crochets. I'm going to work into the next remaining 10 stitches. I'm going to work 10 double crochets. So this is my other part, the front or the back, either way. I'm working into the last stitch, and then I'm going to join my work using a slip stitch. So I'm going to slip stitch into this very first stitch. I'm going to work a slip stitch like that. I'll then chain two, which does not count as a stitch, and then I'm now going to work into this same point a double crochet like that. And then I'm going to work a front post treble crochet into the next these double crochet from the previous row. So I'm going to work a front post treble crochet like that. I'll then work a normal double crochet into the next stitch, another front post treble crochet into these. I'll skip this, work into this, another front post treble crochet, and then into the next stitch I'm going to work a normal double crochet like that. So I'm basically going to alternate between those. I'm going to work a front post treble crochet into this stitch here, and then into the next stitch I'm going to work a normal double crochet, another front post treble crochet here. Now, as you can see, we are coming to the point we worked 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So I'm going to work a normal double crochet into the next stitch, and then into this space here, the chain one space, I'm going to work a double crochet, one chain and another double crochet into that same space. Now we have this stitch here just within the chain one space. I'm going to work another double crochet into that space, yeah, and then I'll continue with my sequence. I'm going to work a front post treble crochet into the next stitch, and then into the next stitch a normal double crochet like that, a front post treble crochet, a normal double crochet into the next stitch, a front post treble crochet, a normal double crochet into the next stitch, a front post treble, a normal double crochet like that, another front post treble crochet, a normal here, a front post treble crochet here, a normal double crochet. Now remember, we are coming towards this space that we worked 2 double crochets with a chain in between. So I think you can now see that each time we get to the corner, we work 1 double crochet just before that space, and then we work a double crochet, 1 chain and another double crochet into this space, the chain 1 space. Just before you leave that space, we have this stitch here. You work a double crochet there, and then you basically continue the pattern of 1. You'll skip this one here and you'll skip this stitch here because you've already worked double crochet here. So you'll skip this, and into the next stitch you're basically going to work a front post treble crochet and then a normal double crochet into the next. So you're going to repeat that until you get to this point here, and then I'll see you then. We are now coming to that point, guys, the point we have the chain one space. So just like what I've been doing, I'm going to work a double crochet after the front post treble crochet like that, and then into this chain one space I'm going to work one double crochet, one chain, and another double crochet into the same space. Now remember, we have this stitch just within that chain one space. I'm going to work another double crochet there. Remember that stitch is in line with this here, so I'm going to leave this and work a front post treble crochet into the next double crochet like that, and then I'll keep alternating with the normal double crochet into the next stitch, a front post treble into the next, a normal double crochet there, a front post treble like that, a normal double crochet. So basically that's what we are going to do. Each time you get to the corner, each time you get to this point here, you're going to work a double crochet just before the chain two space here, and then you work one double crochet, one chain, then another double crochet into the same space. Work our first double crochet into this space within the chain one space and continue the sequence. I'll see you at this point here. I'm finishing this row here, guys, and as you can see, I've already worked my one double crochet, so I'm going to finish off by working a front post treble crochet into that last stitch like that, and then I'm going to slip stitch into this very first stitch here like that. I've joined my work, and then I'm going to chain two, which does not count as a stitch. Remember, we started off by the previous row by working a double crochet before going to the front post treble crochet. So to start off this fourth row, I'm going to start by working a front post treble crochet into this double crochet. So I'm going to work a front post treble here like that, and then I'm going to work a double crochet into the next like that. So as you can see, we're already beginning to alternate. We are leaving out the part we had a front post treble in the previous row. We are going to work a normal double crochet there, and then the parts we had normal double crochets in the previous row is the part we are now working front post treble crochet in this particular row. So I've already worked a double crochet into the front post treble crochet from the previous row. So at this point I'm going to work a front post treble crochet into the normal double crochet from the previous row, and I'm going to alternate between the two. I'm coming towards the corner. I've worked my last front post treble crochet. I'm going to work a normal double crochet here, and then just the way we were doing in the previous row, into this chain one space we are going to work a double crochet, one chain, and another double crochet into the same space. And then remember this stitch here, we are going to work a double crochet there, a double crochet there, and then we continue the pattern working a front post treble crochet, working a normal double crochet, a front post treble crochet, and so on. So we'll basically do this until we get back to this point here where we'll be finishing our row. I'm coming to the end of the row. I've already worked my last double crochet, and as usual I'm going to join my work using a slip stitch, and then I'm going to chain 2, which does not count as a stitch. So remember the previous row we started by working a front post treble crochet. This time we are going to work by working a normal double crochet, and then we now proceed into the front post treble crochet. And from this point henceforth, guys, I don't think it's going to be hard. We are basically going to repeat the third and the fourth row. Yeah, the third and the fourth row until we get to the point where we feel our work is long enough so that we can isolate the sleeves. So work on your projects. I don't know how many rows I'm going to work, but I'll get back to you once I'm ready to isolate the sleeves. I'm back, guys, and I've worked 5 inches of my work, and at this point I want us to isolate our sleeves. So I've worked, remember this was my beginning point. I've worked until this point here. Remember this part is supposed to be the sleeve, so I'm just going to show you how I'm going to leave out the sleeve and continue the rest of the work. So you'll work the normal way until you find yourself in this point. I'll finish by working my double crochet here and 1 into this chain 1 space like that. I'm then going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. Sorry, I think I've made that so tight. I'm going to chain 1, 2 and 3, and then I'm going to leave out this part that is supposed to be the sleeve, and into this other chain 1 space I'm going to directly work into it a double crochet like this, and then into this stitch just within the chain 1 space I'm also going to work a double crochet there. And from this point I'm just going to continue the pattern by working the front post treble crochet like that, a normal double crochet here, front post treble, a normal double crochet, and I'll do this until I get to this other chain 2 space. So guys, I'm at this other point. I'm going to work 1 double crochet into this chain 1 space. I'll then chain 3 like that, and then leave out this part that is supposed to be the sleeve and work a double crochet directly into this other chain 1 space. So I'll work a double crochet there, and then I'll work another double crochet into this stitch here like that, and I'll basically continue with the pattern the way it was in the other parts. So I'm going to basically do this until I get back to this chain 3 space. Now guys, I'm at this point where I'm supposed to work into this chain 3 space. So I'm going to work a double crochet into the last stitch there, and then into these 3 stitches, the 3 chains I made, I'm going to work 3 double crochets into them like that, and then I'll continue with my normal pattern like that, and then I'll just basically do that. I'll also chain 3 in these chain 3 spaces. I'll work 3 double crochets, and then we'll basically repeat our rounds, and I'll see you once we are at this point here. Guys, I'm coming towards these 3 double crochets that we made. So I'm basically continuing with my normal pattern. I'm working 3 front post treble crochet, and then I'm working my normal double crochet, and then a front post treble crochet like that, a normal double crochet, a front post treble crochet, and as you can see it's just fallen into the pattern automatically because this is a front post treble, meaning we had to work a double crochet on top of that, and then work a front post treble crochet into this normal double crochet from the previous row. And as you can see, we've fallen in directly into the pattern the way it was, so that is supposed to go on and happen the same in these other 3 double crochets, and from that point, guys, we'll basically go round and round until we achieve our desired length. That is the length until our waist line. So I'm back here, guys. I've worked around let me see, I have 14 inches. That is including my waistline ribbing, and I've also worked one sleeve here, as you can see. That is from the shoulder point, it's 13 inches. So I'm back to show you how I worked this sleeve using this other part of the sleeve. So I'll basically take my yarn like that, make a slip knot, and then I'll insert my crochet hook into this point here. The point we were having 2 double crochets separated by a chain in one stitch. So I'll insert my crochet hook there and then pull my slip knot through. I'll then chain one. I'll chain one like that, and then into this same stitch, I'm going to work 1 double crochet, one double crochet like that, and then I'll work a front post treble crochet into the next double crochet. As you can see, the next one is a front post treble crochet from the previous row, so I'll work a normal double crochet on top of that stitch, and then I'll work a front post treble crochet into the next, and that is basically the pattern we are going to work with until I get to the end of this first row of my sleeve. So guys, I've finished this first row, and I forgot to tell you that, okay, I'm not going to work into these parts, like the part we were chaining 3 while separating the sleeves. I'll basically stop at this point where we had a chain 1 space in between 2 double crochets. So I'm working my last double crochet, no, my second last double crochet, and then I'll finish off by working one last one into that stitch here. So I'll leave out this space so that we'll weave in that, we'll basically sew it using a tapestry needle. I'll then slip stitch into this first double crochet, the one we worked in the other the one we worked while starting the row. So I'll work a slip stitch there to join the work. I'll then chain 2, and then into this first double crochet here, the one we started with, I'm going to work a front post treble crochet like that, and then I'll work a normal double crochet into this double crochet stitch there, and basically repeat the pattern. Remember, we are alternating between a front post treble crochet and a normal double crochet. So we'll do this each time we get to this point. We join using a slip stitch, chain 2, which does not count as a stitch, and then continue the round. So we'll basically do that until we get to 13 inches from the shoulder point. Then I'll come back to show you how I worked this beautiful ribbing here. I'm back, guys. I've worked around 11 inches of my sleeve, which is equivalent to the other sleeve. Yeah, I have around 11 inches. So at this point, I want to show you how I worked my ribbing. Remember, this ribbing here is the same I used while working our waistline ribbing, and is the same I used for this other sleeve. So I'm basically going to to show you how I worked that. So to start off, guys, we are going to chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, 9. Now, once I have my 9 chains, I'm going to work a single crochet into the second chain from the hook and every other chain across. So I'm going to work single crochets downwards. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm now working my last single crochet like that. I have 8 single crochets. I'm then going to slip stitch into the next 2 stitches like that, and then turn my work. So we are going to use the single crochet back loop only method of ribbing. So I'll skip the first 2 stitches because those are the ones that I slip stitched, and into the third one I'm going to work a single crochet and into the back loop only. So I'm going to work back loop only single crochets like that. Into the last one I'm going to work into both the loops because it gives the ribbing a nicer look. So I'm going to work single crochet into both the loops. I'll then chain 1, turn my work like that, and then I'll work into both the loops again, the first one a single crochet, and then downwards I'm going to work back loop only single crochets until I get to the base. Sorry. Like that. Once I have my 8 single crochets, I'm now going to slip stitch into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3 like that. Turn my work. We are going backwards again, upwards this way. We are going to skip the first 3 because those are the ones we slip stitched on. So into the 4th we are going to work a back loop single crochet only. Like that. Chain 1, turn your work. Into the first you're going to work on both the loops, and then after that you work back loop only until you get downwards. Now remember guys, while we started you slip stitched at this point here, we slip stitched into only 2 stitches, but while we were coming downwards the other time we slip stitched into 3. Now the reason I did that is because I realized if I just slip stitch into 2 stitches at the base here, it will make our sleeve so baggy, and if I slip stitch into 3 it will make our rim so small. So I figured out I alternate between the 2 and the 3 so that it can have an average and this good look. I did the same to the waistline ribbing. At this base here I was slip stitching into 2 going upwards. Once I came back I'm slip stitching into 3, so I'm basically alternating between 2 and 3 slip stitches at this base here. So I'll leave you to work on your ribbing. You'll do that until you get to this point where we'll join our ribbing. And for this part here, the neckline, guys, I'm also going to do the same. I'll be using the back loop only single crochet method of ribbing, and I'll basically start my work at this point here. You remember the part you were joining our work while working at the back of our sweater? You'll insert your hook here, chain 9, but for my sleeve I'll work with 2 slip stitches because I don't want it to be so tight. So I'll be slip stitching into 2 stitches at the base and then going back and forth until I come back to this point where we will join our work on your sleeve. I'll come back to show you how I'll join it. So guys, I'm back. I've finished working my ribbing. I'm just here to take you through these simple parts of joining the ribbing. I'm basically going to take my tapestry needle, pass the yarn through that point there, and as always we have the equal number of stitches in this side like this other side, so I'm just going to use the matrix stitch to join this work. It's very simple and easy considering the fact that we have equal number of stitches on both sides. Just like that guys, I've finished joining my work, and I'm basically going to finish off that way, and then I'll weave in these ends later on, but as you can see our work is good, yeah, so we later on weave in those ends.